Hello everyone and welcome to another house building video in The Sims. Today we're going to be building the world famous Playboy mansion. This is probably the biggest project that I've done so far in The Sims 4. And in terms of recreating houses, this is something I tend generally not to do. Just because the game's quite limited into what kind of houses you can recreate. And although I tried to do the best job I could to recreate this house, it is by no means perfect. We'll talk about why it's not perfect later on, what's missing, why it's missing, but also what's included and how there's a few ways you can get around some of the building limitations in The Sims. Overall though, the house turns out completely finished, so this full video will show you it from the ground to the furnishing, and I'm really happy with the end result. It also will be available for download on the Sims 4 gallery, so be sure to check the link in the description, as it will be out on the gallery by the end of the video. So just a few facts about the mansion before we begin. It was designed by an architect named Arthur R. Kelly. This is around in the 1920s. The current owner of the Playboy mansion is now Darren Metropolis. He bought the house next door to the mansion before, and then when the Playboy mansion went up on sale on the market, it was originally listed for $200 million. However, Darren Metropolis bought the mansion for $100 million. That's 100 less than the asking price. Originally, the sale agreement, though, included a few strange contracts, which meant that Hugh Hefner, the current owner at the time, before Darren bought it, could still remain living in the mansion. However, unfortunately, a year later, after Darren bought the mansion, Hugh Hefner sadly died. Just a few facts about the house itself. The house is 21,987 square feet, so that translates into roughly 29 rooms. I'm not sure how many rooms this house has finished, partly because I never actually counted them, but also I don't know what they classified as a room in that count, as the house is built up of lots of like nooks and also like small storage rooms, so I'm not sure whether they're actually counted in the main count there or not. But yeah, the house is most famous for its owner, Hugh Hefner, who was also at one point the CEO, but also the founder of the Playboy magazine. And he paid $1.1 million for the property in 1971, and he actually bought it off a famous chess player named Louis de Statham. And a fun fact as well is the Playboy mansion that I'm building here is the one in Los Angeles, but before that there was originally one in Chicago. And it looks completely different. It's a much more classical looking mansion with a more kind of Georgian style, like the classical brick and limestone, which is completely different to how this one looks. After he purchased it, he spent around $15 million just renovating it, because the house is in need of renovation. Most of that money was spent on the landscaping and the addition of the famous grow, which I do build in this episode. So yeah, just a little bit of information about the build. It took me 14 hours to complete, roughly. Well, that's how much footage I had anyway. And to get the 14 hours of footage down to a video that's only an hour long, man, I did have to speed up quite a lot of it. And also I did have to cut a few bits out, so you won't see everything, but you'll see all the furnishing. And yeah, when planning the house, the actual hardest part of getting the house to be accurate is doing a good floor plan. Because if you get the floor plan right, then the rest of the house will just like seamlessly follow. But if you get the floor plan wrong, then the house just won't work, like the bedrooms won't work upstairs, and you just won't get the feel that you need. So, but yeah, I was happy how the floor plan turned out. And sort of once that main bit was done, it was kind of a case of just looking at photos and decorating accordingly. So yeah, I'm talking about accuracy of the build. I've made it as accurate as I can. Fortunately, like online, there's quite a lot of pictures of the house, especially the outside. But I couldn't really find any good photos of a floor plan. I did find one which is low quality, which I used for like the basic plan of the house. However, unfortunately, this floor plan, I think, was pre the renovation, so pre 1970s, because the upstairs layout of that floor plan image doesn't show what's called the gallery. And basically, the gallery is a part of the mansion which is on this upstairs. It's on the first floor if you count the ground floor as a ground floor, and then you got the first floor. So it's on the first floor, and it's got it's just a gallery full of photographs, and it veers off right on a diagonal. And this wasn't shown on the floor plan that I found, but it's actually a feature of the actual house, and it's on lots of videos. Most notably, I think it's on MTV Cribs. They show it, and it's like got a clear diagonal part to the hallway, which isn't on the floor plan that I found. So I had to do a few adjustments upstairs. Yeah. The floor plan also refers, there's like a building, I'd call it like on the right hand side, the right wing of the house. On the floor plan, it was referred to as a servants area. But in the actual, I read online as well that some people are saying that there's offices there. I know there's offices on the second floor, which is in the eaves, in like the roof. I know that's an office, but I didn't know what was in if it was still a servant's quarters or not. I kept it as a servants area, but there is some people saying that it might be an office. So again, that could be wrong. But the four main features of the build that I wanted to include was these are the things that I thought, well, if you don't include that, you might as well not bother. And the first one being the grow. I definitely wanted to include that just because it's so famous. The Great Hall, which is where the staircases are, that had to be included. The movie room. Everyone knows the well-known movie room. And the interesting about the movie room, it gets configured different in the house from time to time, so that all the photos look slightly different. So I kind of just I just went off one photo. So if it doesn't look accurate to photos that you might have seen online, that's because there's quite a lot of photos of the same room. And there's also, because the house was built during the 1920s in America, it was during Prohibition. And so there's also a secret wine cellar that was built, and it's just off the study. And the way it works in the house is actually really cool because it's kind of secret. There's a doorway hidden in the wood paneling, but you can't do that, unfortunately, in The Sims. But what you can do is build like secret bookshelf doors. So I just built one of them instead. And it kind of has the same effect. It gives the same atmosphere as though it's a secret room. There's not a lot to do in the cellar, and it's not that big either. And also, just to note quickly, I built this house before the eco lifestyle update, so there's no ladders, none of that business. So yeah, it's built before that, so just bear that in mind if you're wondering why I made the decisions I did, especially with like the window alignments, because I didn't have the option to line up some of the windows in the way that you can now using Alt. So just in case you're wondering why things are done the way they are, that's why. So there's also a few things that I've done in house that I know are not correct, but done deliberately for that reason. And the first is the games room. So in the original building, there's a outhouse that contains a games room. Now this lot isn't big enough to include it. Like if I put it in the backyard, then it would have made the whole lot feel really cramped, and I didn't want to do that. So what I did is, where on the right wing, there's supposed to be a garage, I figured, well, your Sims aren't going to be able to use a garage because there's no cars in the game. So, and the garage and the games room in the house, they both have like a similar size dimension, shape-wise. So I converted the garage into where the games room, to what the games room looks like. So the games room's here, but it's where the garage would be. But it's in the same kind of style as the original games room in the house. So I thought that was quite a cool feature. But yeah. And then the Great Hall, the master bedroom, the dining room, the library / backgammon room, gallery, and some of the hallways. There's extensive photographs online of all of those rooms. So I was able to do them quite accurately, build them quite accurately. So they should look as close as possible to the original. In fact, the master bedroom I even had a floor plan of, detailing, like how the bed's laid out, because it's like quite a lot of stuff in that room. I think there's like two projectors, a spiral staircase, which I know you can't build, but I did like a sort of spiral staircase using the angled staircase. It kind of achieves the same job. So yeah, there's a lot in that bedroom. And then also in the movie theatre room, I configured it as a movie theatre, but that room features a grand piano, and it also features an organ. And you'll see how the organ's created a bit later. Obviously, it doesn't function as an organ; it's just another piano, but it sort of looks like one. So I thought that was quite cool. And there's also a bedroom upstairs, which there was like I think it's in MTV Cribs. That you see one of the playmates in there, and they give you a tour of their bedroom, and there's actually like DJ decks and stuff in that room. So I kind of tried to recreate that room a little bit as well, but unfortunately the footage wasn't that clear, so I couldn't make that as accurate as I would have liked. But I think it looks good nonetheless. Just for the rest of the house, I've had minimum or like no photos of. So I just kind of followed the theme that the house was going for. And that theme is, the house is very outdated because it was renovated in the 70s. So there's a lot to be updated. So I didn't use any like flat screen TVs. I used like the old big box TVs. And that's primarily because most of the photos I found were probably from like the 2000s, 2005 kind of era. So they didn't have any flat screens at that time. And I figured it gave the house quite a cool, unique look. So it's quite like old school. I think it would be quite a good house, thinking about it, to use as like a uni dorms. I know it'd be a bit unrealistic, but it is that kind of like, you've got enough space to put loads of bedrooms in it. So definitely could do that. And then just going on to what I haven't included. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit the zoo in. I wanted to, but you can't really build a zoo in The Sims. Like, you don't get the monkeys and stuff anyway. And there's no like zoo objects. But just an interesting fact about the house in regards to the zoo. This is the only house, I think, in Los Angeles to have a zoo license and a fireworks license. A lot of people talk about that, so I thought it'd be quite cool in case you didn't know that already. But yeah, that's just like basically the build of the house and a brief background to it. But now you can just see, we're just building the roof currently on screen. Roof took quite a while to build, not gonna lie. It's quite a big build, that roof. Right, it's a long build. Trying to fit an archway in there, didn't fit. Could have done it if I'd built basements and stuff, but it didn't look quite right, the archway anyway, so I just figured just put some columns there. Yeah, just a bit cleaner. In terms of like playability of the house, like I've tested it. Some of the stuff doesn't work. So if you download it, you'll have to change that out. But I wasn't really going for like super playable for this build. I was more going for just like a realistic build. But you can definitely, it wouldn't take much to rearrange some of the furniture just to make it usable. But yeah, it's out of like, if you just as you download it, you probably want to change a few bits if you plan on using it as your house. But to be honest, like, I don't think I would ever move a sim into it. I would just have it in my world because it's quite cool to have. I think anyway. But yeah, just building here. One thing that was frustrating about the house is just the fact that in The Sims 4, none of the windows match each other, like in terms of colour swatches. Like, there's a few sets of windows that match, but like the windows that I'm using in the build, like, I just wanted one colour to go across them all. It would have brought the house, everything together in the house, and unfortunately, like The Sims, for some reason, like, I'm not bothered that they don't have a creator style. That would be nice, but I get why they don't have it. But what's frustrating is when you look at most normal houses, all the windows are the same colour. Trying to build a house in The Sims, you can't make all the windows the same colour. It's just a bit annoying. But we work around it best we can. Yeah, a lot of fine adjustments to the roof being made as well. just because the roof, yeah, it took a while to build. Also, that tennis court, it's not usable at all, unfortunately. I think you can probably put like, you could change it into a basketball court, I guess. Like, it does fit now, but in the house it's a tennis court. And we're going for accurate. So, in the build it's a tennis court. Oh, this house also has a lot of chimneys and fireplaces and stuff, which look really cool. And like, if you're trying to recreate a house and you forget little details like the chimneys or the fireplaces, it might not seem like a lot, but when you look at the house from an external view, it can make the difference between it looking like the original and not looking like the original. But yeah, the house is quite a lot of fun to build. The landscaping was a lot of fun. There is a slight bit of terrain tools being used, just so that the front of the house is raised up to ground level, and then the back of the house sort of dips down a bit, just so I can put some staircases out the back porches and stuff, which is quite fun. And yeah, like, it'd be cool if they could use that driveway as a drive, but they can't. I also put a gate in, and I also, on the house, there's actually a signpost, and it says caution, playmates at play. And I thought it was quite, like, you can't get that sign in this game, but you can get like a sign in the same style, which is just a yellow sign with the black writing. So I stuck one of them out the front. I'm not sure if you see it in the video or not, because it was something I saw I go through. But yeah, just doing some more landscaping. Like, the garden obviously isn't completely accurate, and unfortunately, like, I didn't have any footage of building the grotto, and the main reason for that is because the grotto took me like 5 attempts to build, and I just got frustrated, so I stopped recording. And like, it's not that accurate either. Like, it's got a hot tub in it, but there wasn't enough space to make it massive, so I kind of just done a small grotto. But it's better than no grotto, and the fact that it's got a hot tub in it, I think is really cool as well. And it's like a sunken down hot tub, so it looks like it's on level with the pool. Yeah, I was just adding some rocks around the grotto as well to give it more like a natural look, because that's what it's supposed to be like in the real house. Obviously, you can't do curved walls in the pool or anything like that, but it's as accurate as I can get it. Yeah, the pool doesn't look massive, but to be honest, it's big enough. Like, it's mainly just used for partying anyway, so just add in a lot of bushes so that it's nice and private. Yeah, you got the nice big gates. Yeah. If I'm not talking as much in this video, it's because the video is going to be like an hour long. So trying to speak for an hour is it's not the easiest thing to do. So just bear with. And like, there's not a lot going on really at the moment. It's just windows, doors, columns, fireplaces, chimneys. Maybe a touch of landscaping here and there. Yeah. I also wanted a slightly lighter texture to the stonework at the front, but I couldn't quite find the exact stonework I wanted, so I kind of just left it as it is. Just adjusting some of the, I guess is that an eave? Yeah, I guess the eaves. Just making them a bit smaller so that it looks more like the original house. Because that front eave, it was too big, and it was just proportionally, it didn't look right to the photos. Yeah, just adding more, a lot of trees. There was a weird glitch actually when I was building a house. I don't know if anyone else has had this, but where you go into Wellview and then you come back to the lot and it's all your terrain paints have been deleted. That actually happened in this build. Like,
I cut out the actual part of the video because what's the point of watching me put the same tray paints down twice? But it was a bit frustrating. But whenever things like that happens, it gives you the opportunity to go back and do it better. So I just thought of that, and I thought, you know what, I could do the terrain paints better. So I did. Yeah, just adding more to the exterior. And then, yeah, the internal layout. It's quite a cool layout for a house. It's definitely like, you can tell it's an old house because of the way it's built. Like, there's just rooms in there that you wouldn't have anymore. Like the servants areas, like you just wouldn't need that much space anymore. Like I think some houses still have it, but just not to the extent that this house went in, with having like an entire wing dedicated just to the staff that work there. And also, it's not open plan, so like the kitchen is like very boxed off in its own. It's also a massive kitchen, and it's like 4 separate rooms. The kitchen, like you've got like the pantries, the fridges, and all that, because it's a full-on like industrial kitchen. And in one of the videos online, she actually says that the kitchen is favourable to a 4-star restaurant in terms of the facilities it offers, which is quite a lot of fun. Yeah, the other thing as well, I couldn't get the like windows that I wanted for the main sort of the Great Hall, which is the room we're building at the moment. The windows in the Great Hall in the actual mansion are a lot bigger, and they match with the doors a lot better. And there's like, yeah, it looks as accurate as I can. Same with like the mirrors on either side of that archway, just not quite up to speed in terms of like how they look. But it is what it is. And then just changing the colour of the staircase, because the staircase in the actual mansion is not green. It's brown. Not sure why I put green ones in there in the first place, but yeah. I love the fact that you can customise the shape of staircases in The Sims now. Like if you couldn't do that, this room would have looked a lot worse, I think. Just adding photos and stuff. Some of the furniture choices as well, like, they're not completely accurate. Like, it's as accurate as I can get it, but obviously the Sims is limited to what you can. Yeah, you can put, because like, and I don't use custom content in any of my builds, because firstly, if you download the house with custom content, it doesn't show up. And secondly, I like the aesthetic that a house has when it's built in The Sims, specifically because you can only use the items that The Sims has, and it's more challenging that way. And if you start using custom content, it starts not looking like a Sims house, and it almost makes the job easier. Like some people, I'm not against people using custom content if that's what they want to do, but it's just not something. I don't know. It's just not something I think should be necessary. Yeah. But currently, yeah, now we're building the famous like movie theatre room. Obviously, the screen in the real room is like a roll down screen. You can't do that in The Sims, so I just kind of made one using the studio lighting and the big movie screen. It'd be cool if you could projectors, because there's actually like off to the back of the room, there's actually a room dedicated for a projector, and it's got a little cutout in the wall. I used the windows from Island Living stuff with like the no glass in it, just to create like the kind of open effect. Yeah, just adding stuff. Saw the grand piano went in earlier, and then we're going to be adding the organ in a sec. And then this is the wine cellar I was talking about. Oh, you saw it for a few seconds. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, the movie room, like, it didn't take ages to build, it took quite a while. Like, I spent a lot of time on it because I wanted it to look accurate. But the house is very dark inside. Like, I definitely, if I moved into the house, I would change the interior completely. But I would just brighten the place up a bit, because you've got a lot of big windows. You could definitely make the place a lot more bright and airy, especially since it's in California, Los Angeles. So there's a lot of sunshine there. And I feel like the house doesn't really make the most of it. It almost looks like
Well, I guess that's the style, but yeah, the way it was renovated as well. Actually, they cover up some of the windows, which I thought was interesting. But yeah. You'll see like we switch as well between outside and inside, and the reason for that is because I kept finding new photos and stuff of the outside, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. I'll add that bit there and this bit here, and yeah, that's why that happens. Just adding some roof details as well. They're not completely accurate to what's in the mansion, but they look better than nothing there at all. And yeah, the house has kind of like a castle look to it, with like the way the walls are at the top, where they go up and down, which is fun. Oh yeah, at the front of the house as well. This kind of like plinth, kind of raised up area. It does exist in the real house, but it's not in the same location. It's actually on the other side of the house. And in the real build, in the real house even, it's a lot bigger. I'm not sure what it's used for, but it looks like you could do like speeches and stuff on it. So I included a smaller version of it in the house since there was an open space there, and like it effectively is just a raised lawn. So it still made the front of the house open. I didn't close it off. It's not like a building that would really make the house look closed off. But yeah. Yeah, sometimes, sorry, there's pauses and stuff in the video. It's not actually lag or anything. It's just the way the videos are edited. Yeah. But yeah, this room here we're going into now. This is the room. It's called the library. As you can see, like in the actual library in the house as well, they cover up all the windows. This room's mainly used for playing, I think, backgammon is what it's called. Which is like, it doesn't look like a chessboard, but it's kind of, if you flip a chessboard over, it's the same kind of thing. Just a completely different game. The other thing as well, you'll see me place like a lot of decorative objects in the house, and that's because in the pictures of the house is just full of a lot of stuff, like just all sorts of like knickknacks and all that kind of stuff. So I figured, like, we need the house to look cluttered if we want to pull off that atmosphere. Yeah, just add in the like big coffee table, and then we shrink the chessboards down to get them to fit on the table, so it looks like there's just chessboards sitting on the table, which I think is quite cool. I don't think you can use them. Like, I never actually tried. Like, I'd be surprised if you could use them. Yeah. This room also doubles up as like an office. Like, but again, it's like the movie theater room. Like, the configurations get changed all the time, so you just have to kind of place it how you think it would be. But yeah, it's also got a mini bar in that room, which I do include later. I don't record it, but I do record other, not mini bars, but stuff like it getting built. And it's like cabinetry as such. And then downstairs in the wine cellar, there's like a big mural on one of the walls, and I tried to recreate that as well. Obviously, game's limited to, again, but it does have the same like feel of the wine cellar in the actual mansion, which I think is cool. There's hardly like any photos of it though, so trying to like, it could be a lot bigger than this in reality. I honestly don't know. Probably is, but yeah, at least there's one. I think if I was to move a sim in here, I would make that like a gaming room, like where you put like the green top table in there. But yeah, moving on. Going to the dining room next. You can see the dining room has a it's a strange room. Like, it's got 2 tables in it. Like, it actually has 2 tables in it. I'm not sure why, but it does. So I put 2 tables in it. A lot of chairs in here as well. Made using the Move Objects on sheet, making like a nice custom table there, which I think looks quite cool. And then the next room, I think rebuild will be the kitchen. I think. There's also like a bar room on the back of it, like on the next to the dining room, like behind it, I guess. That room, I didn't have any photos of either. So I just kind of made it like another sitting area. And the reason for that is because the main sitting room in the house is a movie theatre currently. So I figured let's have like a second sitting room there. Yeah, the kitchen. I actually really like the kitchen. I use the industrial kitchen oven workstation from Dine Out, just because it's a lot of fun. And it makes the building look a bit more accurate. And then there's also like a big pantry room around the other side. Which is a lot of fun to build. Yeah, this is just more finishing, a lot more finishing. Sorry for like the long pauses as well. So it's just down to my bad editing skills, because as you can probably tell, I'm not a video editor. I have no idea what I do. What I'm doing when it comes to editing the video. Sort of just throw the video together and then put a voice recording over the top of it. So it's not even like, I don't even script anything. Yeah, so it's a bit, sorry if you don't like that kind of video, but I just feel like sitting there watching a speed build, it's nice to have the option for commentary, just so you can hear like the initial thoughts of the person building it and why they made some of the decisions they did. And also I think it's quite useful if you are trying to learn how to create realistic looking buildings in The Sims, to listen to other people and like their approach to it. Because that's definitely how like I learned how to build in The Sims, was watching other YouTubers. For the like, to be fair, I've been playing since The Sims 1, so I've already had an understanding of it. But there's like different ways as well to build in The Sims, I think. So you've got the person who builds a Sims house to be played in. So they make the house really good, but they also make it spacious and just comfortable to play in, like it's well tested. Then you've got the person trying to build like really realistic builds, and both those types of builds will look really good if they're done right. But then you've also got people that are starting out building, and I used to do this as well. I remember I'd build a house, I'd be really happy with it. And some of them houses, when I look back now, I remember this one house at the time I was so happy with in The Sims 3. And the entire back garden was just sand. It was just a beach in the back garden. Like there was no landscaping, it was just beach. And there was probably like 20 of the stereo sets in the back garden, because for some reason I've decided that every set of sunbeds in the back garden needed its own stereo area. And looking back at that house now, obviously it's not good, but it was just interesting because at the time I was really happy with it. And that's the thing with The Sims, you just get better and better.
Another interesting thing in the house is actually the little room to the left of the entrance hall is actually labelled a salon in the floor plan. So I used the beds from Get Famous, the kind of like the bed that sorts all your needs out straight away. I actually used that to look like tanning beds, which I thought was quite cool. Yeah. I'm not sure if in the house now it's still a salon, but it is in this. So, and then yeah, that kind of like what's done now downstairs kind of sums up what I had either a lot extensive photography of or limited photography of, and then the rest of the downstairs I kind of had to just make up because I had no idea what would be there. But it kind of goes from the living area to like the servants area, so the furnishing kind of drops in quality a little bit. Not like the build drops in quality, but the actual furnishing is a little bit more, I guess, affordable, purpose made, rather than being like extravagant. Yeah, just add in like all sorts into the kitchen area. Also, I've bought the laundry pack now, but when I built this house, I didn't have the laundry day stuff pack. So, but there's definitely enough space to put like the washing machine and tumble dryer in this building. So there's plenty of space. So if you do download it, I would say go and change that room. That's just got some sinks in it to that, because that's what it's meant to be. Yeah. The question I kept asking myself when I was building this house is, would I want to live in it? And the short answer is, yeah, like I would, because and like a house that big would be amazing to have, but I wouldn't like. I would change it a lot. Like I would definitely decorate a lot, and like I'm not really one to talk about like what went on in the house because like obviously I would never like hardly anyone really knows. I definitely wouldn't use the house in the same way that Hugh used it. Like I would, yeah, I'd change the interior and I would make it much more family orientated. But I think I would still have parties in there, but I would be a lot more like family friendly parties, you know. But I think while saying I would live in it, I don't think I'm the type of person that should live in it because it's not my kind of lifestyle that he led. Like, yeah, it's just like I'm not really into that whole like. I don't know how to explain it really. It's not really, yeah. It's just not something. It's not somewhere I think. Like if I could live in any mansion, it's not the mansion I would pick to live in. That's probably the best way I can put it. Let me know in the comments though if you would. I'm sure a lot of people would, and I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, that's the games room that I was talking about. So the games room in the real house, as I said, it's actually in that outbuilding off to the side in the garden somewhere. But unfortunately, like that lot's just not big enough. So I just converted what that should be the garage, but I just made it the games room. And then the staircases as well that are either side of that tunnel that goes through the left hand side of the wing, the kind of the little tunnel bit. They spiral around the towers built on either side. Now the stairs I couldn't get to do that in the way I wanted to. So I actually just used them as downstairs they're toilets and then upstairs I think I put seating areas in them. Yeah, just adjusting the top floor a little bit as well. yeah, as you can see, I'm just adding that kind of diagonal section to where the main gallery of the house is. It takes quite a while to actually adjust it properly, going back and forth, just trying to get it to fit perfectly. Because at one point there was like 2 diagonal points. I was like, no, that's not how that. Well, at least I don't think that's how the house would be. But I had no floor plan to go off, so I was just trying to make it as accurate as I could, I guess. But also without making the rooms upstairs too small as well. Because in the main section of the house, I want the bedrooms to be nice and big. And then obviously in the servants' wing or the butler's wing, the bedrooms are just bedrooms really. Yeah, we're now 40 minutes through the video. So if you stayed till this far, thank you. Not long left to go now. Yeah. Again, my brilliant video editing skills just coming into play here, and I have completely left this long pause bin. Could have taken it out, but yeah, is what it is. There we go, back into the action. By the way, when I do pause like this, a lot of the time, it's quite interesting because it's usually me going back checking reference stuff. So I think it's quite nice in a way to have it in because it shows how much time was actually spent looking at photos and stuff. And like a lot more time was spent looking through photos and stuff, but that's just what's in the build. Yeah, just going into the bedroom area. Bedroom was really tough. Like I just couldn't work it out, and like I just kept looking online for like different sources of like information, and eventually I found a floor plan of it, and I was like, "This is gold. This is actual gold. Like I need the floor plan." And then because I couldn't work out, like at one point I was even questioning like, is the main bedroom just at the top of the staircase there, or is it somewhere else in the house? And I found the floor plan. And I was like, it is. And this is what I mean by like windows being covered in. Like in the actual house, that's how the bed is positioned. If you're wondering what I'd done to create like the wood effect on the wall like that, I just turned the bookshelves around. And I thought it'd be quite fun as well. I put a what's it called? A steering wheel. Is the actual name for it. But what you get on a back of a boat, steering wheel, the boat wheel. So someone can comment what it actually is. I put that above the bed because there's a lot of photos of Hugh wearing like navy outfits, I guess. So I thought, yeah, we'll just go with that. And then there was like a space at the back of the TV. I thought it'd make quite a cool cupboard kind of thing. So that's what we're just doing here. Built a lot of these built-in cupboards in the house. Quite a lot of them. And then in the master bedroom as well, there's actually like a big, almost like a C-shaped sofa. You can't build that in The Sims, but you can get L-shaped sofas. So, well, L-shaped bench seats, I guess they're called. But I'll put that in there. And as you can see, like the massive TVs that are in that room, they're actually in the real house. They're actually projectors. And there's actually 4 screens there. There's 2 tiny screens above, but I couldn't fit them in. But I figured like that was enough. Unfortunately, as well, hardly anything in the master bedroom is actually usable. So if you do download this house, I recommend getting rid of a lot of the stuff in that room. I also add a staircase in that room as well because there's a spiral staircase in there to take you upstairs into like the eaves where there's some more offices. So that actually gets added in later as well, which is a lot of fun. And then Next to it, you've got the standard bathroom, stuff like that. Yeah, looking back at the video actually, because I built this house about probably going on for like 2 weeks ago now before actually doing the voiceover. By the way, I try and release videos as much as possible. Minimum you'll get from me is 1 a week, as that's what I've put in my YouTube almost, I guess, cover photo, banner photo that I build every week, and that's what I'm going to commit to. At least for now, anyway. If that changes, then the banner will change. But for now, that's a schedule that I'm comfortable with. And quite often, actually, I think this week I'm only releasing 1 video, or like Monday to Friday anyway. But most weeks I release more than 1 video. But I'd love it if people could suggest houses that they want me to build, because sometimes finding things to build, it's just you kind of hit a wall, and then you start building, and you're just like, it's alright, but it's not great. Like, I do like building big mansions in the game, and I've got more lined up, but my computer is, well, it's a laptop for starters. It hasn't got a graphics card, so you can imagine what it's like. It's got integrated graphics, so you can imagine what it's like trying to run Sims and OBS at the same time with all these textures trying to load in. It's not exactly the cleanest running system. Hopefully in the future I can get a dedicated PC, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah. Adding in so many stairs. But yeah, I'd be interested to know in the comments, like, as well, like, what your opinions of this house is. There are a few people that I believe have tried to recreate it before. I think they were using like older versions of the games as well, so they were limited even further to what I was limited by. Some of the creations I've seen are actually quite good. I haven't really watched any of the videos, but I've seen images online. I would credit them, but I was sort of just scrolling through it and they just popped up. I never really paid attention on like a specific one. Yeah. The other thing as well I'd be interested to know is, would you prefer this video in 2 parts or one big video that you can split up how you want? Because I prefer just one big video. That also means as well, if you don't want to watch the build, you just want to see the end, you can. But I'm not very good at taking photos in game. I'm not very good at it. I am using, like, obviously the cinematic view in live mode a lot more to get those good photos, but definitely need to get better. I also need to get better at just editing video in general, because it's actually quite a lot of fun. It's just very time consuming, especially when you've got an hour-long video. Like, I don't know, to be honest, if I was watching this video myself, I'd probably end up muting it, because I'm just playing my own music in the background. But you can do that if you want. It's up to you, innit? Doesn't really matter. But anyone who doesn't make it to and watch the whole video, thank you, because it is a lot to watch. Also in houses, I do try and limit the amount of packs I use, but because this house is a recreation and it was trying to be as accurate as I could get it, I threw that kind of philosophy out the window and just used as many packs as I needed. Because why not? Luckily though, I don't have all the packs installed. I've got more installed now. By the time of this, I have all the expansion packs installed, but I think I've only got, when I was building this anyway, I only had Dine Out and Bowling installed in my game. So there you go. if you've got all the expansion packs, you should pretty much be able to download it. I do use quite a lot of stuff from Dine Out though, because that is a really good build pack. Like, there's a lot of good decorative stuff in that pack. Yeah, the master bedroom has like 2 walk-in wardrobes, a dressing room, a bathroom with a massive bath in the middle. And it's got like huge vanity sinks everywhere. Save the game. Always remember to save the game. Yeah. And then the butler's area. So yeah, this is just going into like the butler's area. Decided to put a load of movie photos on the wall since I didn't really use them in the house yet. And like I said, I didn't have any pictures of this. So yeah. And also I used a dirty coloured carpet in the hallway upstairs because I figured like there's a lot of parties in this house, so let's make it look like it's been well used, to put it that way. And then just add in more bits and bobs. Lots of bits and bobs. And then this was the bedroom with like the pink bed in it. This is the one that has the DJ decks in it as well. I thought that was cool. Yeah. I'm slowly running out of things to say. Because I could talk about the build, but it's just more furniture. Furniture and furniture and furniture and furniture and furniture. So much furniture. I guess we could talk about the Eco Lifestyle Pack for a bit that just came out. My initial thoughts on it. Like, literally came out, I think, was it last week? I can't remember. But the build mode stuff in it is quite good. The actual gameplay of it, I'm not really bothered about, but just because it's not the kind of pack I play. Like, my favourite pack for gameplay is I really like Jungle Adventure, because I just recently downloaded that, and like exploring the tombs is a lot of fun. But yeah, Jungle Adventure is really fun. I just like any pack there where you can go on vacation. Like, it just adds a really nice element to the game. I also like Get Famous. That's quite fun because you can build. I feel like that pack is the pack you need if you want to build huge style mansions. And if you don't have that pack, then I'd recommend getting it. I'm not a massive fan of cats and dogs, only because when I play The Sims, I quite like finding like the stray dogs and cats and like taking ownership of them, making them better. Like, especially when they're putting them up for adoption and stuff, when they get better. Because so yeah, just adding some more rooms in. Got a nice colour thing going on: red, pink, blue, purple, I guess, or like really bright pink. Yeah. Should be quite close to coming into the screenshots. And I'm just going to let the video play out over the screenshots, so because it's just screenshots really. But yeah, if you did watch the video, thanks very much. If you want more content like this, just builds really, then subscribe to my channel. I'm quite new to, well, I used to have a very old channel, which those videos were terrible. There was no voiceover, nothing. Yeah, I don't even know what I was doing with those videos. But the channel's still up. I honestly can't even remember what it's called. But yeah. if you did get this far, thank you for watching again. And yeah, if you want to subscribe, if you like it, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of your day. Or if you're somewhere where it's evening when you're watching this, enjoy the rest of your evening. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say, I guess. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.